Hey everybody, Tekking101 here. Random semantics and comedy. Go to the intro. Okay. First off, I should say, this is not a chapter review of Fairy Tail. This is more of a discussion. I'm bringing this up now because there's inevitably going to be somebody in the comments that's going to say something like, you know, this isn't a review, you're just bashing the chapter or whatever. Okay, that's the point, because this chapter is worth so much bashing, okay? It's like, okay, I don't talk about Fairy Tail very much. I mean, I did one review way back, you know, I mention it sometimes, but, you know, I usually leave that up to the experts in the anime manga community. If you want a good Fairy Tail review, go watch this guy, go watch this guy. You know, I'm more into the Bleach aspect of the whole, or of the big three, but, well, big four if you include Fairy Tail, but that's beside the point. And, you know, I've been pretty good at holding back my opinion for the past couple of chapters of Fairy Tail because, as we all know in the past couple of chapters of Fairy Tail, these battles have been... yeah, they've been shit. I mean, the actual battle matchups are good, the artwork is fantastic, but just the pacing is just god-awful. And I wanted to make a video about this for so long, just complaining about it. But at the same time, once again, there's many more people on YouTube that have already made videos that have already been complaining about this. I would just be a regular, you know, just guy, like a one guy in a crowd. But this chapter, chapter 322, Gloria, this is the one, this is the big one that just made me yell at the freaking computer screen like, no, 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 this is not how this is done, okay? And let me tell you why. I mean, I've had a long day. I mean, I had college, I just got off work, I'm exhausted right now. I just had to come in here and put the frickin' suit on in this sub-zero freezing room right now so I can tell you this. Okay, just mentioning the fights up to this point really quick. Okay, so let's use the fight against Jura and Loxus. Okay, so this fight against Loxus and Jura, I want to say, the actual matchup is fantastic, and even the actual battle, like the way they fought, was not that bad. It's not even like the amazing, like, oh, like there's no way Loxus could defeat Jura. No, if I actually had time to think about it and consider all their strengths, yeah, sure, I could totally see Loxus defeating Jura. But it's just the pacing. It's just terrible. It's like one chapter. You don't do that. Now, if it was like when I think Loxus versus Jura, I think like the town exploding in a massive sea of just like earth and volcanic magma and freaking lightning. I just don't see like a couple of fists and then Loxus just shoots a lightning, like I think it was like Thunder Roar or something, and Jura loses. I don't see that. That's not how it's done. But there were some fights that were pretty good, though. You know, I thought Gagio versus Rogue, that was pretty cool. That had a twist to it I never saw happening. Even the Minerva versus Urza fight, which is kind of also sort of like, I mean, at least it's long, like it lasted a couple chapters. It has better pacing than like, you know, like Gray versus Rufus. Don't get me started on that. That's something else that I could complain about. But the main reason I'm complaining about this chapter is because the development with Sting. And let me tell you about the development with Sting, because ever since the whole double battle between Natsu, Gagio, Rogue, and Sting, everyone's been complaining about, you know, those two, because the way they lost, you know, Natsu and Gagio were so OP in that fight, and, you know, everyone was kind of pissed off about that fight in general, but I wasn't. I was, after the chapter, and after Minerva had the conversation with Sting and got, you know, like she apparently killed Lecter, all that stuff kind of really fished together, because like at this point, you know, like Sting and Rogue, they never lost before, so we finally get to a point where Sting lost and he has to cope with losing, and also it's like he has to be like no, this is a guild, you do not lose in this guild, okay? We do not do that shit here. You lose, we like freaking kill your best friend, and you need to win next time, okay? That's like, okay, that was pretty clever. So what I figured was going to happen is with Sting now losing his best friend, he's just going to go complete like rage and just pure anger. He doesn't care about anything anymore. He just wants to go and he's just like blind fury, and he's going to awaken his true Dragon Slayer magic, because as Minerva stated, the only reason Natsu beat you is because his emotions were greater than yours. So if you have emotion that can rival Natsu's, you will win. So I was thinking, awesome, that's like a great way to do it, right? So You know, and all throughout day 5, you know, like all the members of Sabretooth were all going around and fighting each other member of Fairy Tail, and I was thinking about, like, oh, Sting, he's just hanging out there in the corner, he's not doing much, he's not fighting anybody, he's just kind of hiding, and every time we do see him, he's just, like, sitting there twiddling his thumbs, like, soon, so I'm waiting for everybody to fall into, like, I'm just waiting for everything to fall into place, and when it happens, I'm gonna F their shit up, like, stuff's gonna go down, right? Well, finally, everyone's been defeated. All the members of Sabretooth were defeated. Orga. Oh god, I have to go on a tangent here about Orga. Just the whole thing with Orga, I feel completely betrayed and cheated on, because ever since the beginning of the ever since we've learned about Sabretooth, like, you know, Fairy Tail's been gone for 7 years, and, well, the main members of Fairy Tail have been gone for 7 years, and this mysterious new guild arose, and then we got Orga, like, shooting, like, he's the freaking, like, the first day, we pretty much learned, I mean, it wasn't stated, but we pretty much learned he was the Lightning God Slayer with the Black Lightning, and as soon as we saw that, we're like, oh, man, Loxus has got to he's got to say something about that shit, and you know, ever since the first day, we've been, you know, like, anticipating this fight, like Orga versus Loxus, because this is going to happen, right? And it didn't happen. Like, it was going to happen. It was right about to happen. Jura shows up. It's like, ooh, done. I feel completely betrayed by that, but whatever. Going back to Sting. Okay, so all the other members have been defeated. I'm like, this is where it's going to go. He's like, he shoots a big beacon into the sky, and he's just like, get over here, Fairy Tail. And Fairy Tail, you know, everyone's like beaten to shit. You know, Gray's had 2 fights. He's exhausted. Juvie is exhausted. Frickin' Urza has like a broken leg. Freaking Loxus is beat to hell from Jura, and they all just kind of hobble over to his location, and they make a big deal about this, because Fairy Tail's in the lead right now, but they make a big deal about how if Sting were to somehow defeat all the members of Fairy Tail, including the leader, Urza, then they would gain enough points for Sabretooth to win, and I'm thinking, oh man, they're making such a big deal about this, this is going to be it, this is going to be a huge thing, right? So we finally get to the thing, and Sting stands up, and he's just like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to... Oh my god. They're staring so intently at me. I can't do it. I can't do it. I surrender. No. 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 No, 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 no. That's not how you do it. That's not how you fucking do it. I really think Hero is just trying to get done with the Diamento Ember. He just wants to get done with it. He's tired of drawing it. He's tired of the whole concept. He just wants to get to the Dragon Festival, Dragon Invasion, whatever the hell he's going to do with it. And it's probably going to happen in the next couple chapters. I think this chapter was key for this, because he's just like, I think what he was going with was like, he's like, okay, you know what, I'm just going to, if I throw in a color page and a 35-page chapter, then I can make the pacing worth shit and it's okay. So I guess that's what he was going with, but still, it was just ridiculous. You know, it's just like, I don't even have to sit here and explain to you why that's ridiculous. You know, all this build up with Sting, all this development with Sting and Lecter, and, well, I mean, he gets Lecter back at the end. I'm like, oh, he found his kitty. That's just so adorable. They're reunited. It's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay, because we were building up to all this shit with Sting, and what happens in the end? Nothing. Nothing. We don't get anything for it. We get the fact that, I don't know, Fairy Tail is just so amazing, so badass, that just staring them down is enough to make you surrender at this point. And you know what? And you might be asking me right now, like, well, what did you expect, Tekking? Did you really want Sting to beat Fairy Tail? Like, no, I didn't want I wanted Fairy Tail to win the tournament. Of course I wanted Fairy Tail to win the tournament. But here's what you could have done. Not all 5 of the members had to be still in the game to win the tournament. Only 1 had to be. So you know what you could have done? I don't know. Maybe you could have had 1 of them or 2 of them lose. That would have been fine. I'd be cool with that if Juvia got defeated by somebody. That would make Gray. That would give revenge fuel for Gray. That would be awesome. If you know, even if Loxus got defeated or something, like, or better yet, maybe Loxus and Jura, maybe like a draw, like they both knock each other out. Wouldn't that be awesome? Because as much as I love Loxus and as much as I know he's a badass, I really can't see Loxus being that much stronger than Jura, so at most I was hoping they're about equal strength, they knock each other out, and then if it's just Urza, because Urza beating Minerva, that makes sense, Urza and Gajiel defeating Rogue, that would also make sense, and, oh, screw it, who was the last person on their team? Loxus, Juvia, Gray, Urza, Gajiel, yeah, I got them all, yeah, so, yeah, you could have had two of them lose, like one or two of them lose, or something cool with that, but when you had chapters where just, chapter after chapter, they were just owning everybody without, I mean, they got beaten up, but it's like, they resolution like one chapter, like, how would you feel if the climactic battle in One Piece against Luffy and Lucci in the CP9 arc ended in one chapter? Or Luffy versus Hody Jones, one chapter. Ichigo in Bleach, Ichigo versus Aizen, one chapter. No, it took 23. It took Deicide. But, you know, I'm just saying, like, do you want to see that? I don't want to see that. Now, granted, the next arc of Fairy Tail is probably going to be pretty badass because the dragons are going to come back and everything. But I'm just saying, just for ending this arc in such a manner, just to hurry up and get to the next arc, that you can't do that. You can't, because that just subtracts from me, the reader. Like I said, I love Fairy Tail, but it's been getting very hard in recent chapters for me to read it. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I know this has been a massive just complaint session of a video, but that's all I've been doing all day. You know, just sitting there and thinking about how, oh my god, that was such a disappointment. So, you know, whatever, right? Tekking101 signing out. See ya, everybody.